Well, while Australia has been focused on itself, a lot has been happening around the world. You wrote in the recent newsletter that the events unfolding in Turkey right now will have an impact not only on that country, but on the future of the European Union and NATO. Terry, when it comes to a secular democracy versus religious fundamentalism, who wins?
Well, I think in this case, no one in Turkey wins, because it appears that President Erdogan is going to be returned. I mean, he just got under the 50% that he was needed to avoid a runoff. And I think the way that things will play out, his main challenger with the unpronounceable name, so I'm not going to try it here, got 44% of the vote when he was actually expected to top that 50%. So the polls actually, like in Australia in 2019, were wrong. But there's about 5% in between that will make a difference on this, and I think most of them will break for Erdogan. But I think the thing about Erdogan is that he has introduced over a long time, he's been there for 20 years now, believe it or not. Over that time, he's introduced, religious fundamentalism. He's put Islam and Islamic law back front and centre into Turkish cultural life. Of course, he turned the Hagia Sophia, originally the cathedral built by Justinian 1,500 years ago, back from a museum into a working mosque. But more to the point, I think when one man has been around for so long with this authoritarian mindset and with this religious fundamental mindset, and I think religion is important, religion is good, belief is good, but to actually impose it on the workings of the state, I think, is dangerous. But as far as I can tell from what I understand about Turkish politics, which isn't very much really, that the other bloke was looking for a coalition of opposition parties, which actually was turning voters off, particularly in regions that weren't dominated by Kurds. So there are these ethnic and racial tensions in Turkey as well, which are really playing badly. But the thing about who governs Turkey is that Turkey has been pressing to join the EU. That hasn't changed. Turkey is a member of NATO, but has thrown its weight around, particularly in considering the applications of the Scandinavian countries, particularly Finland, to join NATO in response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Turkey has been playing both sides of the street in relation to the Ukraine conflict, and with Russia and Ukraine. It's been playing footsie with Xi Jinping in China. I mean, I think my gut sense is that Erdogan should move on for the sake of the Western world, but it appears that won't be the case. But on the other hand, his chief rival hasn't really convinced Turks, let alone the rest of the world, that he's up to the job either.